What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 25 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Elspeth von Draken Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, our flagellant army under Boris von Sighofen assaulted the Black Fortress, taking the tower by storm and dodging dreadquakes and rocket barrages alike. Certainly we took damage, but it was very much worth it, as the capital of the Legion of Asgore have now fallen, and they should be considerably weaker here in the Darklands. We definitely need it right now, as once again these armies are surrounded by enemies, and it's well, it's going to be fairly tough for at least the next few turns while we try to scramble out of that situation. Not that it's super important in the grand scheme of things, as in the grand scheme of things the Empire remains completely safe, but it would still be nice to win down there as well. Anyway, in terms of what we got to do this turn, I'm not actually sure that there's anything. Building upgrades, damaged buildings, outposts available, yada yada yada. So I guess we are probably good. We do want to double check. Okay. Now, I just wanted to double check whether we were besieging anything up here because I didn't remember, but it looks like we're not. I did give the additional territories to Boris between the episodes, so his territory continues ever to grow, and he remains ever relatively useless, but that's all right, as long as he is doing something out of it. It's really too bad that we couldn't get a vassalage out of him, as he has enough territory to develop to potentially pay us a lot of tribute. Not that he's really doing so, mind you, but, nah. Oh well, I feel like, wait, is Empire one of the factions that's actually unable to vassalize other factions? Like, if we talk to you... Yeah, I don't see a vassalage as an option for anybody, including Kislev and stuff, which is a little bit weird. And sure, I'm sure that some factions are fiercely independent, but at the same time, why have the vassal system if you're not going to use it? You know what I mean? I mean, most of the factions are probably fiercely independent. But anyway, either way, we're going to end the turn and we're going to proceed and see what we have to see. Nagarond wants peace. That's not going to happen, though. Decent amount of cash for it, but we have a few nice armies out here that I'm sure would be able to give us a proper fight. Also, I think at this point in the campaign, we do have to start thinking about... Ooh, hello, look, here's back. Gotta be careful there, as this guy's definitely not going to be able to take him on. And just a temporary army. We gotta somehow get Elspeth to him. She could sail out, but that... Actually, I wonder. Would it be worth it to do this, though? Here's the thing. If we were to move out here, it might be that Lokir and Admiral Kroch might be willing to attack us at the same time, but it does really depend on what exactly is in Lokir's army, because that one's unclear. On the other hand, we are within range of Nong Chang, which we do want to take because we want to keep Shyama's rest in order to make use of the standing stones here, which is a nice little faction-wide buff for us, so kind of hard to say. I have to give it some thought. Anyway, army receives plague. Oh, no, well, actually, we expected that one. That was this army up here, wasn't it? Yeah. And Tamarkan is back. Unfortunately, we already have his defeat trait on a U. But I guess we still want to destroy his army to make sure that... I mean, Boris probably will. Probably, maybe. No guarantee, of course. I wonder if this guy would be willing to trade the Pillar of Skulls for this, but then that kind of... Well, maybe. Right, are you at war with these guys? You are not at war with these guys. Ooh, wait. Just out of curiosity, Pillar of Skulls for Monotha Bubonicus, yes? You would be willing to do this. Huh. Okay, wait. I think I would rather that. These guys are friends, yes? They are indeed friends. We could give these dwarfs some territories up here. Not sure it's the best idea, mind you, but it's not the worst idea. How much does this actually cost? Pillar of Skulls... It's actually quite cheap. Wait, are you at war with anybody we're not at war with? Wait. Join war against... No, you are not. Alright, well, I'm gonna not do that right now. I'm not 100% on it. I guess we will still kill off Tamarkan. He'll probably run, and that means this army is gonna have to sort of run around, but there's... Oh, he's not going to run. I guess this might have been the remnants of his army. Okay, well, it's fine. Take the Wailing Banner, pop it on one of you guys. Doesn't really matter about resolve. Yeah, a little bit of damage, but not a big concern. Praise Sigmar. Alright, and hey, we got that seasoned campaigner. Always nice to see. I always get excited when we get a lord with that. Anyway, I guess you're heading back into the Monolith of Bubonicus, at least for the one turn. And healing up there. Oh, you know what? I probably shouldn't have done it that way. But it's too late now. I should have traded... Oh, well, we could still trade it. And heal up more this way, assuming that this isn't a plague that... Battle healing cap. No, but it doesn't reduce our replenishment, so that's fine. Alright, and we'll probably trade Monolith of Bubonicus to somebody this turn once I figure out how we want to do that exactly. We'll skip Elspeth for now, but we'll do other stuff. Land Admiral Zintler, Grand is the only way to go, and I guess it's another free occupy. Yeah, it looks like this particular faction isn't really... Ooh, there's Valkia. Isn't really taking territories, is it?
Master engineer.
Alright. You're going to move into encamp stance, so you're going to head out here. We need to see how Valkia responds. She might attack us with multiple armies, but well, that would probably be pretty fun for this army, though we may want to level up just in case. Just in case it happens. Now, in terms of what we want to get in terms of levels, hard to hit will still be quite useful for the tank, admittedly. You have always ready in gun sight, so your tank is already hitting pretty hard. Ooh, more HP for the tank as well. I mean, I feel like we go for... let's just max out the HP. Honestly, it's not so much melee defense, so... we'll do both either way, so... It probably isn't super concerning which one we do now as opposed to later. Let's get Woundmaker for Mr. Felix. Let's get Woundmaker for Mr. Gotrek. Double time. And Ulrika. What do you want? You have Olgu Exponent, and you know what? Let's get you Lightning Fast and Olgu Exponent. Yeah, we have Pit of Shades and stuff here, but Missile Resistance and Spell Resistance at 15 is pretty darn solid. Then the NG. What are you missing, sir? I guess we want to head towards Deadly Onslaught. We have the good stuff here. Let's get your gun sight. A little bit more damage on you. As we found out, they do pretty okay damage occasionally, and when given the opportunity. Anyway, Andreas Meyer. Oh, right. Okay, wait. So this guy was going to recruit some stuff, some specific stuff. Not the Nordland Mariners or the Swords of Ulrich, because we wanted to save those for Boris Todbringer. Although maybe we just get him his stone. Maybe it'll just take too long to do it this way. You know what, screw it. I was going to land and then have him transfer troops, but it's not a big enough deal, I think. We'll just let him keep what he has. And if we want to replace something in his current army, maybe we will, but for now he's good. Now let's have you travel then, or continue traveling. You've got places to be. Gentleman Jenkins, might be able to get a fight with him going. Move to the Shifting Isles, please. Let's see what we got out here. Any islands? Ah, there's an island right there. Remnants of Battle. Alright, go this way. You won't heal out here, unfortunately, and we'll see how Gentleman Jenkins reacts. If he goes our way, we'll attack him and then possibly auto-resolve this island as well. And Deconstructor Zintler. You, sir, have a date with Malekith's armies. I'm a little bit concerned as to what's going on here, though. This is a port at the Circle of Destruction, so they could attack us with 2 armies at once. And I'm not so sure that that is necessarily a good idea for you. Because, once again, you still lack armor piercing. Let's pop you into ambush stance right outside a Circle of Destruction. I'd like to see if Malekith's on the way. And I don't see him at the current time. That doesn't mean it won't change. Carl, you are going to grab this island. Or, wait. Or we could ignore it and land you here. And then move southward this way. Yeah, maybe that's the better way to do it. I mean, we don't have to pick up every island. Go this way. At least this way Carl will have something to do a little bit sooner, rather than waiting around or continuing to wait around you. Helmet, I guess it's time for you to set sail. You've got places to be. Head on to Kugath, maybe hit a few of these Chaos Dwarf outposts or ports on the way to Kugath, but you still need to go there. Speaking of, well, I don't see Kugath around. Alright. You. Black Fortress. We are going to trade you away in a second. Let's pop us into an camp stance, and we will head to Pig Barter. Do we care about Pig Barter? Diplomatic relations with Greenskins we don't care about, but income from trade tariffs? I think it's only 5%. Meaning it's about 250 gold per turn, which really isn't all that much. Is it worth keeping a red territory for that? I think it might not be, so and we can just ignore it. Do we want anything from you territory-wise before we... I don't think so. You're not at war with the Grimgor, are you? No. Alright. We'll give you the territory. You can have Black Fortress and try not to lose it, because we really don't want to go around retaking it. And, oh wow, you have like no money remaining, Ungrim, sorry. But we're gonna keep taking your money. No more free territory. We gotta pay now. Gelt, you were in, I don't know if he was actually next in order, but let's see, let's find out. Aldebras Otlerman, I don't remember who you are. Oh, right, you're going to take Negrar. Because it's free. Yeah, sure. And then it was Gelt. Alright, Aldebras. Sure. Take out this Grimtop camp, please. Though keep an eye out on full stacks, though I don't see one down here. We basically have to destroy Goldtooth down here before we are safe to move northward to continue fighting Goldtooth, but it does have to be continued. Heal up. And we cannot reach this little army, which was attempting to recruit... How are you recruiting? I take it was recruiting from the camp, which no longer exists? Huh. Okay, well, we still have to kind of chase it down. Not much of a choice in the matter. Now, Gelt, I guess, can move northward. Okay, we have to figure out how we're going to do this. You're going to go here. You are going to join this army. You going to interfere with each other? Yeah, you're going to interfere with each other. All right, go this way and go this way. Need you to do some recruiting, and then you guys can join one of the armies out here because we have plenty of units in here as well. And frankly, I was going to give Gelt some of this stuff, but seeming like it might not happen. Mostly due to the distance between armies, and me not feeling like there's a need to actually move them together. Yeah, alrighty, keep that as it is for now. Let's see who else needs to do things this turn. Bertie Pritzcock, who are you again? Oh, right, I was about to move you and then I didn't. We could have hit the Haunted Forest. Oh, wow, it's worth a decent amount of sack value. Oh, it's a tier 5. Huh, or we could occupy it. It does have exotic animals and we take it at tier 4. That's actually pretty good. Let's go into encamp. We do have to be very careful with this army still because it's, well, it's in a dangerous kind of position. Let's delete one of the halberdiers and replace it with this guy. I guess I should have done that next turn, but it's fine. At least I hope it's fine. Also, are you fighting with anybody right now? Masters of Innovation, Argulon, Kuhan, Wissenland, Knights of Cal. Okay, so no, he's not really fighting anybody. Meaning he probably has a full stack running around somewhere down here. So we gotta be careful about encountering it. ML. Well, let's have you... Oh, you can't hit Fuheng this turn, eh? Alright, fine. Go into... Ugh. I was about to say go into raiding stance, but kind of doesn't quite work for me. Go here. Yeah, no. I was wondering whether Mr. Loki would be able to reach us. No, it doesn't look like he can. We should still be able to take this out. At least I would think so. Yeah. A decent amount of Nuln Ironsides and stuff. Do we have the ability to build NGs here yet? No, we don't. We're still working on it. Next turn. And the army will certainly need them. Anyway, who else still needs to move? All of these engineers do not, though we probably still want to keep an eye on... no more Hawkland Scopes, eh? What do you have? Hawkland Scopes, yes. So we have 2 of them out here, unless I'm mistaken? Good. We should keep an eye out on a Lord that has Hawkland Scopes as well. Although who knows when we get them. Alright, Elspeth, I think we're gonna take a risk and set you out to sea. Ah, but it'll be so annoying if Jiao Ming lands here and then goes after us. No, you know what? I think we take Nong Chang. I would have preferred to have gone out to sea, but it's too risky. Especially for a territory we specifically want to keep. I'm gonna auto-resolve this, even though I'm sure it's gonna hurt our ships. Eh. Okay, why didn't it hurt the ships this time? It's a walled settlement with less units with more units rather, than auto-resolves that hurt. I don't understand you, auto-resolve. I just don't get you, man. I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's odd. Cancel Burgomeisters. Alright. And I believe we're good, yes? Yes? Did I forget anything? No, but I'm hoping that once we end the turn that Valkyria hits us. Although, okay, we still need to spend the money. Alright, first of all, Museum, let's get you some military structures. It's time to trade you away for Grungzint, or at least it will be soon, once you hit tier 3. Now let's take a look at what we have money-wise, or building-wise. We have materials at sea for a few more turns, and we certainly want to put them to good use. What do we have out here? Another gunsmith, always nice to Leia. Yes to the foundry. Keep up with the walls, this is going to cost 5,000. Okay, I'm going to skip on the Wizard's Tower for now. Ivory Road, one of the new territories. Well, we'll build the gold mine at the Great Hall of Greasus and the Tailor's Guild, fine. I think we can let the shooting range go. Well, I was kind of tempted to build Gutsome Outriders, but maybe not for now. Go for the village, and we'll ignore Grimtop, I guess. Delete the training field as well. Alright. And even if this little army manages to take one of them, I feel like it's gonna be not enough of a big deal or not enough of a concern for us to really pay attention to it. Hawkland. Ergig is ready for an upgrade at 4.8k because we don't have Council of Burgomeisters here. Griffinwood we can ignore together with the Forest of Gloom. And, one of our new provinces in Cathay. This one we'll probably keep. It has exotic animals and it has furs and it's beside Nong Chang and Shiama's Rest, both of which we want to keep. Plus it's got 2 ports on top of it all. Oh, actually considering the fact that it has 2 ports, we want to knock out these black arcs, so that they don't take them via port. Well, we'll see. We'll see if we can manage it. Glacial Gardens will be traded shortly. In fact, I guess we could trade it. We'll do it later. Don't feel like it this turn. Lorelorn, keep upgrading the landed estate and the tavern there. A Valley of Horns, presuming that we keep it. And it isn't immediately retaken by ogres. And we'll upgrade you. Portburg Bray, don't care. Grand. I'm on the fence about keeping Grand. The growth here is going to be pretty much non-existent, but on the other hand, this is tempting. You know what, let's upgrade it for now, or start on upgrading it. It's gonna be cheap. More likely than not, I'd say we'll trade it away, but who knows. Alright, what were the things left to upgrade? Let's just upgrade them. Including the super expensive ones. And we do have to make sure that, I believe next turn, you're going to start global recruitment. Because we want to get Luminarchs. 3 for Gelton and 1 for the Flagellant army, which is another reason why it wants to move over here. A fairly short distance to them. We're good. We gotta find a battle. I mean, damn. Let's see. Combustion agent nearly done. Here on Odd Mood. Building upgrade available. Outpost available. Damage building. Outpost upgrade available. Diplomacy check real quick. Vidrioth wants to be friends.
Bring me in. Hetwoman, you called?
Sure, Vidrioth, why not? I don't know why they want to be friends now after all this time, but sure. Ironbrow's expedition, sorry, still gonna be a no. And now we can end the turn, and then hopefully Valkyria attacks us. Alright, while the turn is ending, what I was going to... Oh, I forgot about Dramathius the Scarred. Damn, I should have taken a look at the heroes. Yeah, we gotta start thinking about the end of this campaign. The interest is obviously beginning to drop, and... Nah, they won't win this. I was wondering, if we had maybe 2 crossbow units, then perhaps, but not with 1. If he takes it... Nah, he's gonna move this way? Was that this army? Couldn't quite tell. Anyway, Gelt should hopefully be able to chase him down. Anyway, we gotta figure out how we're going to do the end of this campaign. I doubt we're going to bother going all the way to World Conquest like Archaon is, but he still wants to trade. I feel bad, Thoric, I really do. Simply because the interest won't be there all the way to World Conquest, but we gotta figure out some potential final goals. There is, of course, ultimate victory. or domination victory, which we are well on the way to, but it's going to take quite a while. Trying to think about some main objectives that we may want to take, possibly a few of them, and that will inform us as to what to do. And, well, damn, Lokir. I see you're gonna be annoying today. You've moved over here. Alright, we're gonna go to Shilong, and then we'll see where you go from there. Hopefully he doesn't move this way, because it'll be difficult to catch him. Maybe the Admiral will land at Shilong, and we'll still have to fight them together. There's potential for it. I take it they destroyed the army of our Cathan friends here. Oh well. It's their problem once again. What do we have in terms of defenses here? This may be a fight, depending on if these guys are actually willing to fight it. Let's go Inspiring Presence, and we're definitely going to have to go for Pistol Core here. Sort of what this army is all about. Anyway, well, you know what? Let's give this a try. See if they're willing to take a field battle.
Expert in innovation.
Yes, they are. Pyrrhic victory. Oh, lovely. Probably because our lord is only a tier 4 lord, but, well, why not? Let's do this fight real quick.
Lady Verena has granted me the wisdom to craft the finest instruments of war, and Sigmar gives us the courage to fell our foes with them.
Alrighty, well, if they're the finest instruments of war, I would think that you would have the courage to use them. Anyway, here we go. The battle starts off, unfortunately, for the enemy with the Supreme Sorceress out here who can do nothing whatsoever about our Vanguard deployed, well, or just forward deployed, I guess, units of war wagons, and the enemy lord will go down. Though it took a few shots to do so. Oh. Okay, one more. There we go. Now, the actual fight is, of course, weight reinforcements, is, of course, of the reinforcement variety. There's not a crazy amount of troops in there, but at the same time, this is just a random sort of auto-resolve army that we put together, so we'll see how that all works out. Anyway, here we go. We've got as much distance between us and the enemy as possible, but nonetheless, it means a lot more work, or it means a lot of work for our war wagons, and we're going to start by trying to snipe this master, High Beast Master rather, out of the sky. Is on a Feral Manticore. I guess not a Feral Manticore, just a Manticore, because it's not feral anymore. But it'll be dead soon enough, and it does look like the shots from the war wagons do have a tendency to stagger the enemy lord, as when the full volley hits, it does seem to sort of get staggered in the air, or maybe it's trying to avoid the shots because it's doing a sort of weird little dance. Either way, it looks like with that, the master will go down. We were supposed to go down with that shot, but okay, it looks like it'll be the next one. Come on. There we go. And down you go, and while doing that, we did heavy damage to the enemy Bloodrack Medusa here, who it looks like our cannons are firing at the same time. Oh, it looks like the Shades have arrived and have taken a few shots on our war wagons, but not enough to prevent them from killing off the first of the enemy Medusa. Now, it looks like the enemy, I believe, has 2 more out there somewhere, and the rest of the army has arrived and is moving in, though it looks like they are blobbed up fairly nicely, and certainly it's going to be dangerous for them, as our mortar wagons are going to be able to fire into this blob. It does look like they will pause a little bit, and we will continue harassing the entire army with our war wagons, but we do have to be very careful. For example, this unit of war wagons has lost, what, 20% of this HP, and this was from something like a half of a single volley from Shades. Even though we're able to do a lot of damage, we also will take a ton of damage if the enemy actually hits us, so sort of one screw up and you've lost a bunch of war wagons, and they are quite fragile. Kind of similar in the Malachi campaign with the gyrocopters. Yes, they're very effective if you micro them properly, but if anything even sneezes at them, a bunch of them will drop out of the sky, and despite their strength, so yeah. Sort of a similar thing with the war wagons. Anyway, looks like the Medusa continue moving forward. We're focusing them now with our cannons, and war wagons alike have had the opportunity to move the war wagons away from the shades, and are going to back up a little bit more while we continue kiting. Looks like Medusa 2 has fallen, and Medusa 3 will be next on the menu. What do we have here? Not a lot of HP remaining either, especially with the cannons helping the war wagons out. It's very, very nice that we can build war wagons for one turn via global recruitment. Really helps with putting them into armies quickly as needed. Anyway, with the Medusa gone and the enemy lords and I think -1 hero all destroyed, it's mostly just a big old infantry blob, whether it be of the range or melee variety. Now, the war wagons are great at sniping, but they're not so good at knocking out infantry units because there's too much overkill going on, and they have a tendency to focus single targets down. So we're going to have to leave this to our cannons and our Nuln Ironsides, by and large. It looks like the enemy has also activated its murderous prowess, which is also not so great for it. The first level of our Nuln Ironsides are also firing upon the enemy and have a pretty good position up here on this little hill, when the next unit of Ironsides above them to fire at the enemy should the enemy draw closer. And just had to separate them far enough away since we don't have much of an infantry line here, so that if these guys were to be hit by the enemy infantry, we would still have another line able to fire. Now the enemy is in pretty bad shape, getting gunned down by the Ironsides and the mortars and cannons alike, and though this army isn't really technically built for it, we still have the combination of disoriented and monstrous impact. 7 speed on those dread spears. Granted, monstrous impact doesn't last all that long, but it's still preventing the enemy from closing the distance and allowing our gunners to do their work, which they are doing with gusto. There we go, second line of our Ironsides are now firing down upon the enemy. Starting to get the hang of the sort of Cathian territories and actually deploying our units up here so that they can actually fire. And it looks like that was enough. The enemy army will book it on out of there. Of course, they will take a bunch of parting shots from the Ironsides and the mortars and the cannons alike, and we'll do our best to hunt and to gun them all down. Alrighty, very nice indeed. No losses, no damage to speak of. The enemy got kind of screwed on the terrain there. They were in quite the predicament as soon as they arrived onto the field of battle, as we were able to hit them from multiple angles, and we were able to snipe out all their elite entities, despite the fact that they probably had enough units to overrun our lines. With the reinforcements arriving the way they did, it just wasn't gonna happen. Anyway, we will, I guess, execute the captives just for a little bit of XP, mostly because the other rewards are basically non-existent. You don't need that sort of might, because hopefully we can turn it into something a little bit more useful and a lot of resolve, and don't kill our war wagons, game. Don't do it. Alright, kid one of each, that's fine. Of the non-mortar variety, occupy. Alright, and that completes this province. However, we're going to go into State Troop Levy, rather than Council of Burgomeisters. Oh, we got a wizard's campus here. Yeah, sure, I would have preferred the gunsmith, but we'll take it for now. Charmed Shield, Barded Warhorse, that's all fine. But you don't need the Charmed Shield, at least not until you get your tank. You also have a Clothier and an upgraded Imperial Harbor here, which, well, I gotta say is not too bad. Let's also upgrade the Foundry. Alright, ooh, and the Foundry does give us the ability to get more engineers. Let's get a, I don't know, Inventor, doesn't really matter. We should put a couple into this army. And we should, wait, let me just figure this out. I can get Bandolier, it really doesn't matter. This is mostly going to be an auto-resolve army, but we had to fight that particular fight, most likely, let's say. So yeah, it had to be done. And what is more important is this. You're able to hit the Temple of Elemental Winds. You two stick around, because you're probably going to join an army. Although, wait, you are now at level 8. And we can currently recruit wizards at level 23, making you, sir, quite useless. I do like the leadership, the discipline trait on ya, but it's not worth however many levels. And then the same with you, I guess, 15. I guess these are the wizards that Gelt starts with. Oh, did the other one have a bunch of things here? Not too late now, he did. I take it, yeah, these are the wizards that Gelt started with, but the Bright Wizard didn't seem to have any special item. It seemed like we only got the special items for the Grey Wizard and the Celestial Wizard. Meaning you're also not super useful. Sorry, buddy, you're out. We can get one with a better trait. And you, Ulrich Puttkamer, you have several things to do. Thing the first is this. You need to recruit us 4 Loom... Oh my lord, they're expensive. 2.7k. Oh, what are materials at sea? No. Well, what can you do? Let's do 4 Luminarchs. There's no way to further reduce... Well, I get... If we wait a turn, we could reduce it with the State Troop Levy. You know, I'll think about it. We'll see how much money we have remaining at the end of the turn and what happens by the end of the turn, and then we'll figure out, oh, I also noticed that Valkia did not attack. Meaning, are you able to reach her here at Ashrak? You are. But I was going to take Dagrak's End. How much stack value does this thing have? 37 or 34k. That's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. If we move you, Land Admiral Zintler, to Chill Road, and despite the fact that the enemies there and probably have no chill, to resolve. One of the war wagons was destroyed? Okay, yeah, we're used to it. You get used to it. Occupy. Now, hopefully, Valkia will either sit there and allow us to attack her, because I feel like we could do the war wagon, or not the war wagons, the Luminarchs, if we sack Dagrak's End. Though there is the concern, I suppose, that Valkia will then move and we won't be able to heal up properly, but, well, I'd wager we can risk it. It's quite a bit of cash after all. Ooh! They do have a bunch of Chosen here. Decisive victory and low casualties. Yeah, the problem is we just obliterate everything from range. That's the thing. And they wouldn't... Because the AI is bad at sieges, we destroy their towers, then we break down their walls, then we move forward, then kill everything with mortar and outrider fire. Anything that tries to sally out will be gunned down by our Ironsides and stuff. If this was a field battle, I would definitely fight this. Mostly to see how much of our fire the Chosen and whatnot can survive, but at a siege battle, I think it's not worth our time.
No mercy.
And we will obviously sack it. And then we will obviously occupy it. Ah, another smuggler. Nice, more money.
Advance on them.
Occupy, please. And you should heal up to full. Valkia cannot reach us in this turn, either. Alright. Land Admiral Zintler's kind of in a dangerous position, but at the same time, he is one of our strongest armies. Probably our strongest after Elspeth. Gentleman Jenkins, you ran from Andreas Meyer. That's kind of a bad idea in my opinion, because Andreas Meyer is one of our weaker armies, and you probably had a decent chance to actually fight him. Go for Fel Cargo. Ah, damn it, wax-sealed rations again. This is the 3rd time this guy's gotten them. It's not that it's a bad thing, it's just that I figured we could use the... we could use the movement range a little bit more. Well, let's move towards Gentleman Jenkins. In fact, we are reachable to him. So perhaps he'll actually move to actually attack us. Now, in terms of what we got here, we probably should level up. We still need Pistol Core, and I guess we'll go for Pistol Core. And then we'll save the rest of the points to get into Ballistics Instructor, most likely. You, sir. Machinist preparations, definitely... I'm gonna say restock. Does this... Well... It's probably not necessary. Because we have a decent amount of restock available via our Pistoliers and our grenade launchers. Meaning we could probably get either Mercurial Shot... or Black Powder Discipline. I'm gonna say Mercurial Shot. Alright, looks good to... Wait, does not look good to me. You still need levels. Evasion and Chain Lightning. A little bit more useful than Comet. Until the enemy hits you, I imagine. Can actually interfere with the enemy's travel towards you now. The Black Ark has moved away, which means we can freely take the Circle of Destruction. Not that we really care about the territory, mind you, but now oh, I lied, it has not moved away. Oh damn, so with the Black Arks, you can't see how far they can move. That's a problem. Because we don't know whether this one can go into March stance, and can a Black Ark reinforce another Black Ark I don't know. I've never tried attacking a settlement with 2 Black Arks at once. And that's another problem. We could try to leave and ignore the Circle of Destruction. I don't think this army can face down 2 armies at the same time. It just doesn't have the, unit numbers. On the other hand, if you die, auto-resolve. Occupy. And if you have to fight to survive, well, that'll just make it a pretty fun time. I would also like to pop Jamathius the Scarred into this army. As for what is going to be replaced, I guess it has to be one of the Knights of the Blazing Sun. I mean, it's not like we have a lot of room to replace stuff in this army now. We could get down to 5 or 4 of these guys. Let's do that. We definitely need the engineer, because this army has a lot of range units that it could buff. And I think we'll get more value out of the single engineer than we would out of that one unit. Anyway, let's go for all-terrain vehicle for the tanks, then triangulation into machinist preparations. I do like increased mobility. Let's get increased mobility maxed out. Although, on the other hand, you know what? No. If we are to fight next turn, we should probably get you your battle capabilities, just in case they're actually needed. Probably safer to do it that way. Fire resistance, fire-controlled anger, definitely useful for a fire army, as we wouldn't be hurting ourselves as much, and we still need 2 more levels to get that steam tank. On the way, though, let's get your rally, try to get to artillery master, cavalry master, whatever other master you need. No baiting, though. Anyway, let's see, you. And you can now move again, and oh, Boris is heading towards the Writhing Fortress himself. Oh wow, what the heck? He's actually doing something? I'm shocked. I'm genuinely shocked. Move to the Monolith of Bubonicus. Okay, once again, how much did you want for the Pillar of Skulls? 14k. It's a lot. I mean, granted, it would be given to an... Okay, I'm still gonna wait on this. Just give me a second. It's going to bother me if I don't, but anyway. You, sir, helmet, try to get to Bitter Bay. Not that we really care about Bitter Bay, and we'll probably immediately trade it to these guys. There is Nagashazar, which is probably a tier 4, but we'd probably never get to tier 5, as it would take so long to grow. And then we basically loop around and hit Dreadrock or Dragonfang Mountain, start working on Kugath from this direction. You, can you reach the Haunted Forest? Indeed you can, and thus you will. And the hero, unfortunately, won't be able to help you this turn, but next turn. Auto-resolve this because it's garbage. And don't sack it, but occupy it instead. Even though it was quite a lot of sack value. Alright, you move on in, and we'll rebuild the exotic animals. Man, the one thing that we wanted to keep here, game. The one thing. And I guess you can go for the Council of Burgomeisters before we build anything else like paved roads. But the place should be reasonably valuable for a single territory, and at least we won't have to invest too much into building it up. As otherwise we wouldn't really care about the yellow territories. Next up, you. Can you reach Pigbarter? You cannot, meaning you are going to... I mean, I'd still think that you want to move towards it. We want to sort of shore up our borders here. Then, where the heck did that ogre army go? It sacked Grimtop. Granted, we don't care about Grimtop, but repair it. I doubt that it's ambushing. Gelt, go into ambush. Go out here towards Mawgate. I assume they marched stance towards Mawgate. No, they didn't. What? What? What the heck was... Are you serious? And now we can't reach... You little... Oh, that was a really annoying move. So he was in ambush, and we only discovered him once we ended up here? Damn. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. And now Gelt's left to ambush. Oh, man. Okay, well, nothing I can do about that. Stay near Great Hall of Greases. I don't want to lose it. Because we've invested in it, and then don't bother reinvesting into Grimtop. Sorry, Gelt, that was sort of my bad, although with it appearing at that time, it was kind of confusing. In my defense. What do we have here? These guys actually cut some units, meaning you can't take this. Go figure. He can't reclaim anything here. Okay, well this means that you are either not needed or we send you out to Great Arena. Yeah, I think you're not needed. Alright, minor setbacks, minor setbacks. More like minor annoyances, but anyway. Nuisances. You are going to go all the way out here to Venom Glade. We do want Clark Harond once again for those exotic animal tamers. How much is this? Tier 4, eh? And this thing's at tier 2? It might be possible. Let's say it might. Now, what we need to do is start preparing for the war against Clan Angren because, well, it's gonna happen. I guess we'll take one of the existing engineers. Let's say you. Campaign skills. I don't like that. Why do you have campaign skills? We could reset you. Yeah, okay, here's what we'll do. Get on the field. And we'll reset you next turn. Wait, are we actually able to reset you immediately and then replace you? Huh. Reset all skill points. Yes. Wait. Yeah, you had to read Leader River now. Alright. And he doesn't get immediately replaced. Damn, okay, well that kind of screwed that up. It's alright, we can start building it next turn. I mean, actually we could start building at Grunberg. We don't have to do so at Nuln. It's just that it offers additional recruit rank. Nah, not a big enough deal, I think, for us to concern ourselves with. We'll just do it next turn. Alright, and I believe that's pretty much it, yes? Jamathius the Scarred has finally, after chasing Deconstructor Zintler for so long, reached this army. I was thinking about putting another unit in here. I really wish we had another Allegiance slot available. But because we have the fiery tanks, due to the fact that we have the and Banner of Eternal Flame, we could put another something in here. Like a Luminarch, for example, a second Luminarch. It is automatically fire damage, and they are quite useful, and they are armor piercing, even if they can't kill lots and lots of units at once. But anyway, we'll figure it out. For now, technology. What were we gonna do next? We are fighting a lot of the Knife Ears right now, so we could do that. We're also fighting Ogres. I mean, probably never going to get a better chance or opportunity or need to use that stuff. On the other hand, could upgrade the Luminarchs. There is also additional research rate via the Engineers Guild, though I fear it's probably not going to give us too much value, let's face it. Honestly, I don't think really anything that we pick right now is going to matter all that much. I just don't want to spend money on the other thing. You know what, let's, Corruption for all province. No, we're not really suffering from corruption. You know what, let's get Protection of the Patriarch. All armies, spell resistance, not horrible. Now, you know what, I lied. Let's get Greater Channeling. I want the buffs from the Luminarchs, and we should probably upgrade our Cav. We are using a lot of Cav right now, after all. So it does feel like that's appropriate. Alright, next up, we got two things to do. Diplomacy. A little bit of an admin-heavy episode, I know, but sometimes it does happen, on occasion. Peace out with Coldtooth, but I think not. Even though it would be advantageous, I think I like the current dynamic because it's fun. Let us build the buildings then, since there was nothing at diplomacy. Reichland, you are missing another foundry just for the research rate. Tilea, let's get another clothier. And fortunately, because of the materials at sea, we're nearly done with all of the admin, which is just lovely. Paved roads for you, and what are you missing? In fact, are you missing anything? Not really. We could get another capacity of some sort at Fildorf if we want, but you know what, just in case, let's go for the basic walls. Just for, well, Anyway, River Brienne, Aquitaine, yes, landed estate. We need the place to grow as much as possible, and additional control will give us additional growth. So that's what we're going to do here. Gotta get Bordelot up to tier 5 as fast as possible. Nobly Gorge, let's start investing in you. Hopefully the ogres don't come down here, but they'd have to go through Shambletown, so we should be able to bypass that. Yeah, let's upgrade the Haunted Forest, and ooh, I do believe I was going to start building gunsmiths here and at Griffin... Okay, we already have one at Griffinwood. Working on it. Alright, just upgrade everything. Everything while we have materials at sea, just so that we don't have to deal with it ever again. Baleful Hills, start with you for the pasture because it gives us additional growth. Mousillon, keep collecting the income. Upgrade this. Though I do want to see how much you're worth now.
Let the supplicant come forward.
A 96, so not enough. Not enough. Grungzint is worth 116, I think. Yeah, so that's not gonna fly. And this is not gonna fly right now. Alright. What else was left? Ironfrost Glacier, we will be trading you. Glacial Gardens, we'll be trading you. Mountains, Valley of Horns. I mean, assuming the stupid little ogre army doesn't go over there. Yeah, I think I'd rather not waste the cash. There's a decent likelihood that they will, so I'd just ignore it for now. Alright, Ulrich, that means we have the money. And thus we will spend the money on recruiting the Luminarchs. And despite the pretty incredible cost. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now... what else do we want to get guilt? I mean, okay, so I did ask you guys whether you thought we would do the Hellstorm rocket batteries for him, and I was kind of, well, there were mixed responses. Some said yes, some said no. Ultimately, it looks like there was no consensus. The issue thus is, or I guess I have to make the tie-breaking decision, so... I'm going to try it. We'll see how it works with Gelt's army. If it works well, as in if we can keep the cinematics, then we will do it like that. If we cannot, then we will not. What did combat focus do for us? Recruit for melee units. Probably not super relevant. Ooh. Can you recruit anything from global recruitment that would help you here? Melee-wise, can we recruit greatswords in one turn? Even see greatswords. Wait, they're there. 2 turns. Yeah, we're gonna have to transfer Gelts rather than recruit them via this screen, but that's all right. You, sir, do you need to recruit anything? I mean, I'd like some more Nuln Ironsides in here, and we can still construct them here, and maybe a couple of Hawkland long rifles as well to snipe individuals. All the cannons are fairly adept at doing so as well. And the war wagons can snipe individuals. So, you know what? It's fine. We're fine. The problem with this army is if an enemy actually gets to the army, but if it's meant to auto-resolve, it should be okay. Though, you know what? If the war wagons die in the auto-resolve, then we'll replace them. How about that? Then, though it is a horrific waste of money... I wonder how much Monolith of Bubonicus would be worth to these guys. You know what, I don't care enough. I'm just going to trade these, and then we'll see what happens afterwards. The greenskins really screwed us over in this regard, but anyway. Pillar of Skulls. 14. No, you know what? Just do this. Give us money. Don't declare war on anybody. We could force you into a fight with Krimgor. Wait. Just realized something. If you lose the Great Skull Lakes, then once again your territories will be kind of joined together. You know what? Screw it. Let our allies solve this situation themselves. Go. Alright, now we gotta try to get another battle going. Oh, wait. You can have Pillar of Skulls. For money. Thank you, thank you. I mean, those Luminarchs won't pay for themselves after all. Now we can skip the rest of this, including the outpost stuff, though we do want to build... Well, we can build some stuff next turn. I was potentially going to get Gelt some Thunder Barges, but I think they take 3 turns to recruit. Or at least a Thunder Barge. I feel like he deserves one. 76. It's a little steep, game. It's a little steep. Okay, wait. What about Northern Provinces? Still no sky junks, eh? Only lanterns. Western provinces? Well, okay, I wasn't expecting sky junks from you. Not anymore. Not after you failed at everything.
Are you so keen to meet Morr that you disturb me?
Peace treaty with Legion of Asgore? Yeah, that's obviously not going to happen. Alrighty, and yeah, I was gonna end this episode as we are starting to run long, and especially due to the administrative aspect, but I'd like to do one more battle, hopefully Valkia. And hopefully... Okay, wait, let me just see here. Okay, Lokir has moved back to Bamboo Crossing. Elspeth could actually sail out and land here, unless I'm mistaken.
To Imperial glory.
But he probably doesn't have too much. Yeah, well, it's a pile of dark shards and stuff. Yeah, the thing is, he's building them out of this place, or well, he's probably building them out of the Black Ark.
Dark Lady of Nuln.
Ridiculous.
What's the likelihood that they attack us? You know what? Maybe we try this again. Just keep her there and hope that they sail out and attack us together. Oh wow, this place is getting real busy. What do we have out here? The two Black Arks are sort of hanging out together. It looks like they do want to go for Deconstructor Zintler, right?
No glory, only service.
Well, I wanted a battle. Alright, Valkia looks to be willing to fight Evan Pfeiffer. Alright, but if we're gonna get a good battle, I think this is the one. I mean... Yes, Fire Army. This is your time. Let's hope they don't run. Hey, if we could sink two Black Arks, that's a heck of a notch in Deconstructor Zintler's belt. Valiant defeat, that's what I'd like to see. They've got Black Ark support. We have limited capabilities to some degree due to lack of armor piercing, though fortunately a lot of the enemy army is not particularly heavily armored, with the exception of... Actually, the Black Ark Corsairs are pretty darn heavily armored because of those Sea Dragon cloaks. But anyway, let's give this a shot. Alrighty, here we go. I am very excited for this particular battle. We've got the Black Ark overhead, and these maps are always quite nice to see, but I'm excited for the battle itself, as the enemy has just a massive pile of troops. While this isn't perhaps the best sort of situation for the Fire Army, it's a pretty good one. The piles of melee and ranged infantry are pretty darn susceptible to our flame cannons and iron drakes with flamethrowers, especially the dread spears and the shades and whatnot. A little bit less so the Black Ark Corsairs due to their Sea Dragon cloaks, once again, their heavy armor and their missile resistance, but we've got other stuff, hopefully, to be able to deal with them. Now, the enemy reinforcements are coming in about a minute and 15 seconds, which means we'll want to sally out and deal as much damage to the enemy with our tanks before the reinforcements arrive. Maybe try to push the enemy army to actually move towards us, but otherwise, at the very least, put those steam expulsion abilities on cooldown by sort of charging through the enemy line. Plus, since we have the Sutsun's guns, they can keep firing, and if the enemy gets bogged down fighting the steam tanks, the Sutsun's guns can do some damage, and they clearly already are. We can follow that up with a little bit more damage of our own, though, as our Fire Wizard, our Bright Wizard, will cast the first Burning Head of the battle, though there will be plenty more fire where that came from. Burning Head isn't a straight moving wind ability, unfortunately, though, so it won't really do exactly what we want, but it'll deal a little bit of damage. And it's not an overcast cast, so it's okay. Not a big deal. For 9 mana, we'll take it for now. Who knows if it could have moved through more units, and the enemy isn't yet blobbed up enough for a flame storm. Anyway, our 2 Emperor's Wrath steam tanks are moving in, and I'm going to charge through, very nice, into that blob of enemy infantry. And there we go, gonna have them use that steam expulsion and try to focus down or at least damage the Black Ark Corsairs as best we can. We can ignore the other units a little bit more, and as long as we play our positioning correctly here, we have to remember that these guys have the ballistic plating and the directional missile block, so 100% missile block from the front, which is pretty darn good, and these guys have massive armor at 185, and that's not even counting all of their resistances, so they can certainly cause a ton of havoc in the enemy infantry line while they just sort of bounce around in between the enemy troops. And it does look like that, however, has annoyed the enemy sufficiently, and they will start moving to where the flame cannons will be in range and can start cooking some of those dread spears. Over on the right flank, we've also got the first of our Knights of the Blazing Sun charging in. They managed to distract, by the looks of it, 3 units of shades, and the other 2 Knights of the Blazing Sun are going to loop around and hit the enemy in the sides and the back, while the other 2 are waiting in reserve. Fire is going to melt the first of the enemy units to try to close the distance. You gotta love those flame cannons, while our Knights of the Blazing Sun continue to charge in and rip those shades apart. Granted, shades can fight fairly decently, but, well, our Knights of the Blazing Sun can probably rip them apart without too much trouble, especially considering these are not a heavily armored unit. And the Knights of the Blazing Sun don't have much armor piercing. Alright, there we go now, charging into the rear of the enemy, and I always love how visible the lances make these guys, and the other knights as well, the Knights of the Everlasting Light. Anyway, looks like some shades have shown themselves and are trying to focus down our Templehof Luminarch, which has taken about 20% of its HP and damage, so we're going to try to bail it out with flame cannons and with shots from our units of Stir River Patrol. The suppression certainly helps out, slowing the enemy down, allowing more of our flame cannons and such to hit. Looks like the enemy reinforcements have made it onto the field. Plenty more enemies where that came from by the looks of it, and we're going to send our Bright Wizard forth just to cast a few spells in the middle of their line. Flamestorm coming up right in the middle of all that. There we go. All the while, Sutsun's guns continue to rain mortar fire down into the enemy. Then one more parting spell, I think, as we cast another Burning Head through as many of the enemy as we can. Alright, very, very nice. And looks like the Flamestorm and the Burning Head has, oh damn, that's a lot of units still, has forced the activation of the enemy Murderous Prowess, though now we're at 202 kills and 25k damage on the Bright Wizard. A lot better than it was before. A unit of Black Ark Corsairs has attempted to close the distance, but will get obliterated by the Flame Cannons and Iron Drakes alike. And we have backed off one of our tanks, which has taken a little bit more damage, sort of dealing with the enemy. Oh, I love the fireworks. Too bad we don't have any lizardmen allies, as some salamanders would have been nice. Though at the same time, we already maxed out at 4 out of 4 of the necessary units. Anyway, some Dread Spears attempted to close the distance but got cooked, similar to their friends. Enemies continue making their way forward, but the AI is causing itself some issues here, as it is attempting to dodge a lot of our artillery shots by doing the dance, and this causes it to not charge our lines in the way that it should. Tried to get the Knights of the Blazing Sun over on the left flank around, but these shades were hidden, because obviously shades are hidden, so now they're going to take a few hits before they turn, unfortunately. And come on, fire. Don't let them charge you. Alright, a little bit late, just a little bit late, but it looks like that certainly did decent damage to the unit. And we can certainly follow it up with more flames. There we go, and is that the same flamestorm? I think it's a different second flamestorm coming in. The enemy continues to charge towards us, but they're pretty darn badly damaged now. We've managed to knock out the shades with the Knights of the Blazing Sun, and they're going to rejoin the battle. Havoc continues from the 2 units of steam tanks, which continue riding through the enemy formation and dropping that steam on the enemy. It does look like one of the enemy units does make it close to us and closes the distance with with a unit of Black Ark Corsairs and stops one of our Iron Drakes from firing and heavily damages them as well. Only a single unit is not enough though, and by the looks of it, only a single unit will make it through. I love watching this army fight on the dark maps as well. Definitely one of the best armies to watch fight on a dark map. Fire armies in general, I guess. And there we go. With that, just as the enemy army was starting to reach our lines, enough of them get cooked such that they will shatter. And with that, both of the enemy Black Arks will lose. The enemy Lord drops one parting shot from the Luminarch there, and we're going to do our darndest to chase them all down with our tanks and with our units of Knights of the Blazing Sun. Alrighty, there we go. Very, very nice. The Fire Army got to do plenty of work. Look at all those kills on all of our Knights of the Blazing Sun, hovering between, well, let's say around 200, though this one topped out at nearly 300. Not too bad. The two tanks, the two Emperor's Rat tanks, were absolute menaces, both causing roughly 28k damage, very close to each other in terms of damage, and getting 400 to 363 kills. Pretty darn good, though they weren't as much of a menace as our Bright Wizard, casting flame storms, burning heads, and, well, pretty much everything in his spells except... Oh, he doesn't have piercing bolts of burning, so that's the one spell he didn't cast because he didn't have it. Also, great work by our flame cannons, which burninated plenty of their foes, and I'd say decent work from our Iron Drakes. Unfortunately for them, they aren't really in a good position to do too much work here, as the terrain was sort of not super advantageous for them. Gotta have flat terrain for that, and the same thing went for the Luminarch. There were really only two targets for it, and the terrain and the fact that the AI bloody hates Luminarchs and will always try to destroy them with range meant that it really wasn't able to do too much. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter all that much either, as the enemy armies got destroyed and the Deconstructor was able to deconstruct two Black Arks, which is a pretty good claim to fame, I should say.
Master Engineer.
And he got a steam tank reward on top of that. Very, very nice. Well-earned reward, I would say. Now, also, sadly, the Stir River Patrol didn't really do too much there, but they're mostly in the army to provide the slowdown of the enemy via suppressive fire, rather than anything else. Let's be real here. And I mean, it's still a crossbow unit. It's still too basic at this point in time compared to the other units. Anyway, Artillery Master will buff both the tanks and the Sutsun's guns, which means it's probably the way to go, and then we'll get you stand your ground. As well, we should probably make sure that the Black Ark is gone for good, though I'm a little bit wary of the army getting attacked next turn by other units or other armies. Hopefully, we'll be able to overcome. We can auto-resolve this. Hopefully, it won't kill off our Luminarch. Oh, did I not put the... Oh, wait, no, it was on him. It's just that he got the tank.
No mercy.
And, okay, damaged the Luminarch slightly, but, well, we were kind of... Oh, what the bloody hell? It nearly killed off our... Wow, okay, that's really irritating. We needed that tank for fighting the enemy. Now, the remnants of the Admiral Leech army could, in theory, reach us, but I think even in March stance, if we go to the Circle of Destruction, that'll be too far away from the rest of the enemies. And hey, I got a Talisman of Preservation, which should probably go on one of these guys. As in one of these guys, one of the tank riding master engineers. Anyway, that was a really long fight, and we are obviously very much out of time, and I'm going to call the episode here. Next time, we continue our advance into Nagaroth. We will start the battle off, or start the episode off with the fight of Ibn Pfeiffer versus Valky's army, and there's probably other places where we have to fight as well, so we'll fight there as well at that time. Lots more stuff to do, so stay tuned for more Elspeth. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.